color. Okay, so I think over 10 years ago, Ray Rastelli kind of introduced the Black Angus Sirloin steak. And it was a hit from the first day, and it is a hit all the time. The tender, flavorful, can I say grass-fed? Where does your beef come from? Grass-fed, corn finished. It is so delicious. It's coming from the Midwest farms. It is a versatile steak. This is how you get that very, very lean, end-to-end meat. There are no bones, and it comes out to $10 each. Now, where can you go to a restaurant these days and get a $10 steak that is flavorful, tender, so lean, and so delicious? I think restaurant steaks are about $45 to $50. Sometimes they're even $70. This is 2024's #1 best grilling item. It is 10 6-ounce Black Angus sirloin steaks. All right, come on in, Chris, once again. Tell me about the OG, the original. This is how it launched your brand from the first day to just a classic even now.
It really is. I mean, and this is something it's near and dear to our heart because it was 10 years ago the first item that Ray went on with Rick, I believe. And it just really took off because we call this the everything steak. It's a steak that we always have had as butchers and as chefs at our house, and the steak that we always use. And the reason we brought this for the first steak is because everyone is trying to figure out what to have for dinner. There's that dinner fatigue on trying to figure out what are we going to have for dinner. And the one thing that's really nice about this, once you get this home and you have this in your freezer, you can pull these out and you don't even have to think about what you're going to make for dinner because you can do it as a steak because it's absolutely delicious. It's that Black Angus, right? Mm-hmm. You can use it in fajitas. You can use it in so many different things. And that's why we brought this first, because it's the steak that literally is just so absolutely beefy, delicious, and it goes so well with everything. So it's something that we're very proud of. And as you mentioned, this is coming from the farmers that we've been dealing with for over 50 years, which is really important. Those relationships, right? They're coming to us. They're grass-fed. They eat a nice grass diet, clean water. They're finished on corn that gives it that incredible flavor of marbling. And then what happens is, Nancy, they come to the butcher shop, right? Yeah. The meat comes to the butcher shop where we actually age it for 28 days, right? And that 28 days, it's a natural age process where the enzymes actually mingle with the proteins, and it actually naturally ages that meat. And then our butchers literally hand trim and hand cut only center cut steaks. That's all we give to our QVC family is the beautiful center cut steaks. It is completely trimmed, so you're going to eat from end to end. And I'm going to show you real quick how we do it, because I think it's really important to see what we talk about when we talk about Black Angus and when we talk about center cut. So this is what a sirloin looks like.
Okay,
if you can see this, Nance.
Because you are the suppliers to the top steak restaurants in the world.
We are. I mean, they've come to us for the very finest, and that's why it's so important for us to be serving the finest and getting the finest. And that's why those relationships on knowing where your product's coming from is so important. So we know where it's coming from. It's coming from our relationships for 50 years. And QVC, our family from QVC knows where it's coming from. It's coming from Rastelli's, your butcher, right? So that's what's so important. But this is what the sirloin looks like. This is after we take all the fat, everything. Now, if you get sirloin steaks at the supermarket, you might not recognize this piece of meat because at the supermarket, there's a lot of fat, there's gristle. They cut it. They cut the steaks, and what happens is it has all that fat because they're selling the fat, right? But what we do, this is what the sirloin looks like. We cut the ends off, Nance, and we just move it aside, right?
Oh my gosh.
That goes away.
Yeah.
Then what we do is we take these beautiful center cut right from the center.
Wow.
And we cut these center cut steaks, okay? And
look how lean it is.
This is what look how lean that is. And you can see here, because it's a lean cut of meat, but inside here, I'm going to hold this up.
You still have that marbling,
right? You're going to see. Yes, exactly right, which we call that meat candy. And a lot of sirloins don't have that. The meat candy actually melts in the steak, which gives it that flavor, right? And all that juiciness. But that's where your sirloins are coming from. They're coming from the sirloin, and they're only the center cuts. The ends over here, we take off as well. You're just getting that center cut piece, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Okay, you're getting 10 6-ounce. I did the math for you, but it's coming out to $10 each for a Black Angus, Midwest farm, grass-fed. Where is your meat coming from? These are so delicious. Do you know how fun it is to have this kind of protein in your freezer at all times? My husband and I have been having so much fun making steak tacos, right? Using that for, like chili. Anytime you want like a little bit of steak and eggs in the morning. I mean, it's just like the most everywhere, like you said, anytime steak, right? And the most versatile steak, it's the 6-ounce Black Angus. You are not paying for bone. You are not paying for fat, yet it's lean and yet incredibly marbled. So it's tender, juicy, and delicious. Right, Chris? It's 2024's best
Absolutely.
grilling item. Number one best grilling item.
I couldn't say it any better because you hit it right on the head because it's just so tender and so delicious. While you were giving that great explanation, I was actually slicing this because I think I want to show you.
Look how many pieces you're getting. That's an amazing steak salad for 2.
Yeah, that was just, listen, that was just from 2, right? So here it is on your steak salad, right?
Wow.
A nice steak salad. And I
Great
actually,
for keto
Nancy,
people.
when I take these out at home, I take an extra one out. My wife and I, we cook 3. I cook 1 for her, 1 for me.
Yeah.
And then what I do is I cook 1 for the next day because I love to put it on the salad, right? So we like to have a nice steak salad for the next day. So we actually always cook off an extra one. But there it is on the salad.
If you're cutting down carbs, Chris, I love that keto option, which is pretty much your protein of that lean steak and some veggies. And I think a lot of people are trying to cut down that carbs too, right?
Absolutely. I mean, now we're going to go back to the carbs a little bit, but here's your steak dinner because this is a sirloin steak, and this is going to be because of the Black Angus and the aging. It's going to be meaty. It's going to be flavorful. It's going to be juicy, and it's going to be tender. But we're going to put it right on, and there it is. If you look at the screen.
Oh my gosh!
So look how beautiful that is. You can see. So it's completely trimmed.
Yeah.
There is no fat from end to end on there. So
wow,
when you eat
still
this,
juicy.
if you're going to eat it from end to end, and look at the juices. And the juices are in there because it's Black Angus. And Black Angus is the very best steak. You're not going to get that from a regular supermarket steak. You're going to get that from the Black Angus. But again, how about a little bit, just as a steak, a little steak sauce on here. And then, of course, we're in Philly, right? So we had to do the Philly cheesesteak.
Ooh,
and you slice
I love
this up.
this
This makes an incredible cheesesteak.
Yep.
I'm going to turn this here a little bit so we can see
great
that. But this
idea,
has
Chris.
actually fried onions. We put some roasted pepper,
Yum.
and we put this
My
just
mouth
like
is
that,
watering.
right?
Yep.
Now look. Now I'm doing this, right? I'm going to put a little.
Is that Cheese Whiz?
I'm going to put a little cheese whiz.
By the way,
Yeah.
if you go to the best cheesesteak restaurants, they actually use real steak. You are absolutely right, Chris. And this is Black Angus, and you're getting 10 of them. Can we also talk about the price of a steak dinner at a restaurant these days, Chris? Anywhere you go nowadays, you cannot get a $10 steak dinner at a restaurant, Chris, right?
No.
I mean, the price of meat these days?
Cannot.
Yeah.
You cannot. And I just cut 2 steaks too, Nancy. And if you look at this, I just made a steak salad. I made a beautiful cheesesteak. And now how about a little bit steak tacos?
Taco night.
Right?
That's my favorite.
And this
That's
is
how my
something,
husband
look how
makes
beautiful
it.
this is. I mean, and this is, I'm being pretty generous on this. And how about a little pico de gallo in here? We'll throw a little of that on there.
And do you know how
and
fast
again,
that
I
is
mean,
for
I
dinner,
just made,
Chris? Just having that steak, I said, you know how fast that is to make for dinner?
Okay.
Just having that steak in your freezer at all times, you're going to be able to get a little tortillas, buy some pico de gallo at the market, add a little cheese to that, and you've got a little maybe chopped lettuce, and the family is having taco night. That's how easy it is to have the quality of Black Angus aged, grass-fed, corn-finished, versatile steak in your freezer at all times, right, Chris? For the whole family.
Absolutely. Yeah, and think about this too. It's summertime right now, and everyone's out on the grill. And this is something too. we make beef kebabs, right?
Mm-hmm.
With this. I take this out, I
Oh,
cut it
great
down the
idea.
middle, I
Yep.
cut it in little cubes. I actually marinate it in either my, whatever marinade. Sometimes I use just fresh garlic, olive oil, a little bit of vinegar,
Mm-hmm.
right? Salt,
Love
pepper,
kebabs.
and that's it. And it's absolutely delicious. So you make a really beautiful kebabs with this, with vegetables, mushrooms, whatever you want to do. So
Making me
again, the
hungry.
versatility,
Yeah.
if you don't want to be on the grill and cook a beautiful steak, which this will come out beautiful, or if you want to do kebabs, you can do that. If you want to do what we just showed you here, and any other recipe that you have that has beef in it,
Mm-hmm.
you can use this sirloin for.
Chris, can you show
And
them how they
Nancy,
come? Yeah. Thank
I
you.
sure we're on this. Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to come to you just like this. So they're individually vacuum
I
sealed,
love that.
which locks in all the freshness
Mm-hmm.
and keeps out all the bacteria. But if you look at this real closely, you
That's a lot
can
of
see
meat.
the marbling
Yeah.
in this sirloin. It is absolutely loaded with marbling. And you're not going to find that in a regular sirloin, right? The regular sirloin that's not Black Angus, you're not going to find that, Nancy.
All right, 2024's #1 best grilling item. You are looking at what started it all for Rastelli's, the Black Angus sirloin steaks. You're getting 10 of them. They come out to $10 each. Free shipping and handling on that. All right, Chris is coming back with the sausage